Okay, it's yeah, good question. And I was asked the same question a few days ago on the radio, and I was saying that the psychological disturbance, and according to a study that was done in Spain, the rate of people suffering of stress, anxiety, eating disorders, insomnia, depression had gone up dramatically in the last year. We were talking about these same people were reporting that they had emotional problems in 8% before all this global situation. And now, when they were asked, we were talking about 90% of people suffering from stress. Now, what's the best thing? The best thing to do is first to get informed and educate yourself in different points of views, because we are being told one narrative constantly by the media. And what I've been doing is researching alternative ways. And here in Spain, we have different websites. We have Médicos por la Verdad, which is Doctors for the Truth, and Psicólogos por la Verdad, Psychologists for the Truth. And you can find lots of different research made by brilliant, um, really recognized academically doctors who are actually saying a very different thing of what we've been told. So I encourage people, first of all, to get real information, because from my point of view, what is being happening is that we are being bombarded by continuous mass manipulation techniques, which are very, if for the eye that is trained in social psychology, it's very clear. It's very clear that the strategy is the problem reaction solution. So when the person realizes that it's not very much about a really deadly lethal virus that is going to kill you and is just waiting for you around the corner, maybe your levels of anxiety will go down. Maybe it will transform into something different. But it's all this global situation is touching a really delicate universal fear of the human being, and it's the fear of death. And when we are fearing death, we forget about living. We forget about the pleasures of life. When we are caught, like you were saying, trapped in the fear of death, we start functioning from a very primitive brain called reptilian brain, which has to do with survival. So when you are on survival mode, um, you disconnect with your neocortex. The neocortex is the rational part, and you just become, a victim in inverted commas of multiple threats. And this alleged virus is in multiple forms, multiple how to say variants, okay, and it never stops. And the whole narrative is very difficult to maintain if you take it from the beginning and up to now, and you start researching other doctors. um, it's very difficult. You start when you start joining the dots. Um, and you start really questioning. And this is what Sarah does. She questions everything. Are we really being told the truth? Is it all about this deadly virus? Has not got to do with anything else? So the very first thing is, as I said, get informed. Okay. If you read Spanish, go to these websites. If not, search on alternative ways. And whatever emotion you have, whether it's anxiety, fear of death, or the anger of anything else, okay, the anger of knowing that you are being manipulated, because according to my view, that's what's happening. Um, and if we see, for example, social experiments from Milgram, for example, and Sharif, and and Ash, for example, Solomon Ash, we can really learn and how easily the human being can be manipulated and influenced. It's incredibly easy if you know and how to touch certain buttons in the brain. Um, but whatever emotion you have, as I was saying, whether it's anxiety or whether it's anger or whether it's frustration, it doesn't matter. It's just about finding the center within yourself to stay calm, to stay centered with whatever happens on the outside. It doesn't mean that you are not going to feel stressed. It doesn't mean that you're going to become passive like a rock. No, not at all. It's that we get stressed, but try to come back to your center, okay, of your inner self as fast as you can, because now there's like a hurricane, okay. I can see like a hurricane that is going through planet Earth, and if you get attracted, if you don't stay centered, it's going to be very easy that you're going to be pulled away by this immense force of the hurricane. So the the safest place in a hurricane is in the eye of the hurricane, where the temperature is fine and you stay safe. But if you start moving towards the uh, surface, okay, of the hurricane, you will get trapped into that. So I mean, for example, neuroscience, I found that it's a great way to release your fears and to release all those negative emotions, toxic emotions that we don't want anymore.